What's up everyone, this is Tyler with Recess, and today we are going to learn a trick called drop loops. They look like this. Drop loops are a trick invented, or we believe are invented, by Yuuki Spencer, an amazing yo-yo player who's a world and national yo-yo champion. I'll put some links down in the bio for the freestyles he's done them in. So for drop loops, throw a trapeze, and then I like to insert my non-throw hand thumb first, spread my trapeze apart before I do this transition to position my yo-yo in order to drop the loop next. So like I said, you're going to take your non-throw hand thumb after you've mounted your yo-yo on a trapeze, insert your thumb, making this loop extra wide. Then you're going to just rotate your yo-yo around clockwise in front of you, okay? It might look counterclockwise on the camera, but if you're looking at the yo-yo from this perspective, insert your thumb, you're going to rotate the yo-yo clockwise, okay? Once completing this transition, you want to take your throw hand arm and put it behind the loop, just like this. What that does is it gives the loop kind of like a ledge to sit on, and I like to take my non-throw hand and pull it over top of my hand. Then as you drop it, it'll give you like the extra second as it's hanging on your arm. It'll maintain the shape, the loop will. You'll see as I drop it, it'll fall right down. We're going to insert our throw arm. Then as you drop the loop, all you're going to do is take your non-throw hand, drop it, and then recapture it underneath of your throw hand arm, okay? So you're just going to rotate, insert your arm, drop, recapture, okay? It's really important with drop loop that we're making sure with our non-throw hand to spread the loop, because if you just kind of use your index finger, it doesn't spread nearly as wide. It's going to make it really difficult to catch, okay? That was kind of like, you saw I caught it on the very tip of my finger, so it makes it really difficult. This isn't really like a cheating thing, or no one really looks at that and is like, oh, you're like not doing the trick the way it was intended to be. That's like a commonly accepted way to do it. It makes it a lot easier, okay? The other variation I wanted to teach of drop loop, which is, it's a little more difficult. It's exactly the same mechanics, but instead of doing this whole rotation, you're gonna come underneath and then drop it. So like I said, the exact same mechanics. You're gonna take your non-throw hand, place it underneath of the string. So instead of like over top of the breakaway, you're gonna place it underneath of the string here, take your throw hand, pull it away, bringing the yo-yo closer to your non-throw hand, taking your throw hand, crossing underneath, using your non-throw hand to insert your thumb, drape that loop over top of your throw hand arm, and then capture the loop again, catching it on your fingers underneath of your throw hand arm. This one's a lot more difficult because you're working against the spin of the yo-yo. So as you throw the yo-yo and it's spinning in this direction and you mount the loop on the back half of the yo-yo, it's actually just spinning right out as you saw. It's like coming right out beneath it. So nothing is there to help maintain the structure of the loop. Once you're creating this roll right here and then spreading it apart, believe it or not, all the string that is the multiple layers of string that are in the gap of your yo-yo, that helps maintain the form of the loop and then makes it much easier to catch. So a lot of times when you're competing and you're at the end of a trick, a combination of tricks or whatever, and you come down, it makes it a lot easier to do this variation, but it's also a lot more difficult. So for the sake of the tutorial, I would just recommend everyone learning it like this to start out with. If you're a competitor and you care about how your tricks score, this is a really easy time to incorporate variations. Instead of just catching it underneath of your throw arm, you can kind of catch it like underneath of your leg, you can catch it behind your back. That's gonna be a hard one. Catch it behind your back. There's all sorts of variations. And other players have incorporated the same kind of technique into other tricks. So instead of catching the whole loop like this, players like Jason Lee and Spencer have done similar drop loops like that, where if you see, I was actually in a trapeze mount just on my finger and then drop it to my other finger like so. These ones were actually created several years before Yuuki actually did this drop loop. I think he kind of purely created it because it was a great competitive trick. Once again, this first drop loop variation, the one with the rotation like that one's significantly easier than doing the underside variation. The problem that you could run into with the underside variation, like we talked about before, you're working against the spin of the yo-yo. It doesn't maintain the shape of your loop, but also it could accidentally bind, like so, if you don't catch it, which in some instances is a good thing. Like if you're competing and you want to do a fancy bind into another trick that's front style, it lends itself well, but it also makes it difficult because if you don't intend to do that and you catch your yo-yo, it's going to throw you off. So again, just for the sake of this tutorial, I would recommend everyone start and learn that one. And then if you really want to learn that one, move on to it. But that's why I just taught it as kind of like a variation. I'm Tyler, and those are drop loops.